Yes, of course, I like to have a beer or to have a glass of wine or to have a good juice, but generally I drink water. I drink just plain water from the tap, and I like to drink that water, and I would like to drink that water also in India.
Water is a fundamental requirement for most life on Earth, and humans are no exception. As the human population on Earth grows larger, so does our impact on our natural water supplies. This demands that more effort be made to ensure that water resources be protected and more attention is focused on water quality.
Earlier it was very common practice, to before entering into the Ganga for bathing purposes, you just take little bit of water in your hand and sip it like this, and then sprinkle it like this as though you're purifying yourself. These are some of the common practices, but with increasing population, with increasing awareness, with increasing industrialization, with increasing pollution, these things have sort of vanished now. Everybody has become a little bit skeptical.
Uttarakhand, India. This small North Indian state is located in an area of the world known to the local people as the land of the gods, home to the Himalayas, highest mountains on Earth. But it is here also that some of the most important rivers in the world first begin, playing a central role in the lives of the people who are settled along their banks.
Uttarakhand is named as a land of gods, but as a drinking water engineer, I can say Uttarakhand is a land of rivers.
Uttarakhand is the birthplace of the Ganga, holiest of all rivers in India, but it and its many tributaries also serve as a primary source of drinking water for millions of people that live along the river.
People generally prefer to take river water. Even now, particularly with the Ganga, this Ganga water is considered to be very sort of a sacred water, and it's supposed to be a lifeline of millions of people, of course.
For religious festivals like the Kumbh Mela, which last took place in Haridwar in 2010, people travel from all over India to bathe in the Ganga, putting significant strain on the water supply infrastructure.
The satellite counted nearly 1.7 million heads on a single day, that is 14th of April in Haridwar. So you can imagine the density of the crowd on a particular day.
The people of Uttarakhand also face climatic, geologic, and infrastructural obstacles to ensuring clean and plentiful drinking water.
The major problem here is of sustainability. Most of the time in summers, our sources are depleted, drying up.
The sustainability problem is also here because in the time of heavy rains, the water is very high turbid, that is around 7 to 8,000 NTU, what turbid it is on the very high side.
Roads are blocked in the rainy season due to the landslides and erosions and due to the heavy rainfalls. Every year we are finding that so many roads are closed and so many roads are not working.
There is a problem with the state electricity power network. The power network is very poor in India, and particularly in rural areas it is very, very poor. These power network faults create a problem in the system also.
A lot of landslides occur, a lot of cloudbursts occur. The terrain is hilly and very difficult to control the quality of work. The water sources are there, but then treatment facility providing to the villages is very costly and difficult to maintain also.
And so, Uttarakhand, in need of safe, sustainable, and affordable means of supplying drinking water to its inhabitants, Riverbank Filtration, or RBF, has emerged as an increasingly popular natural treatment and production technique. Here we see a cross-section view of a typical gaining river and its bank. Under normal circumstances, groundwater flows from both sides of the river into the river channel, and the river gains in flow as it progresses downstream. Now we introduce a well designed for the production of drinking water, equipped with a filter screen to hold soil out and allow water in. As water is pumped out of the well at a constant rate, the water level in the aquifer is drawn down over a period of time until it eventually reaches a steady state level. This newly created condition also leads to a change in the flow pattern of the river aquifer system. We have now achieved riverbank filtration, or RBF. Surface water is drawn from the river into the well by way of the aquifer, becoming what we call bank filtrate. At the same time, groundwater is drawn in from the land side of the well, and possibly also from the deep aquifer on the opposite side of the river. Here we see one important way in which the pumped water quality is improved, by mixing as the bank filtrate combines with normally high-quality groundwater at the production well. The other important improvement step occurs as the bank filtrate flows through the aquifer soil from the river to the well. Here, a variety of physical and chemical processes take place, including filtration, biodegradation, adsorption, chemical precipitation, and redox reactions. Taken together, these processes produce a substantial net improvement in water quality for human consumption, for example, by effectively reducing or removing turbidity, microbial pathogens, and other contaminants.
Bank filtration, which has been used for more than 140 years in Europe and especially in Germany, is a very cost-efficient method, and it has a natural treatment step. So it is of high value for countries which cannot afford the more sophisticated treatment, and it has very good advantages compared to surface water abstraction. And that's why we think that this technology, which is very simple to apply, is of high value for other countries, for example for India. When we went to India, it was interesting to see that they have already some places where they use bank filtrate, but maybe not in the optimal way. So it was interesting to think about optimization of existing sites and to motivate the people to think about new sites.
Somewhere around March 2004, so that was when Professor Kreshek was invited to, by Professor Chitranjan Ray and Professor Ojha, was invited to the Indian Institute of Technology in Roorkee to participate in a workshop, an international workshop on riverbank filtration.
HTW, Dresden, and few universities of India, they were Banaras Hindu University, then one agency from Patna, IIT Roorkee, NIH. They formed a network called EU-India Riverbank Filtration Network.
The German counterpart, Professor Geschik and Dr. Sandhu interacted here. As a team, Jalsasthan, myself, we went to the University of Dresden, in the University of Applied Sciences, Dresden, I would say. And this is how we came closer to each other. The Jalsasthan DST partners, the university and the UCOST.
NIH and the STWD German signed a memorandum of understanding, and finally we got a center established at NIH. So that is the basis of involving NIH to the riverbank filtration activities.
Dr. Ojha from this department, he was the coordinator from Indian side. So we had that project. In connection with that project, many academicians and the professionals came from Germany. We also visited a number of times Germany and learned many things.
It has been a great learning platform for me. There were certain things which we knew, but we had not really thought of it, so much. It was not under the umbrella of RBF, though the process was well known.
In 2010, Uttarakhand Jal Sansthan, the state organization responsible for maintaining the water supply network, received funding from the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, to undertake a project aimed at developing RBF in the hill regions of Uttarakhand. This led to the creation of 4 new RBF sites for drinking water production. The town of Satpuli, home to about 8,000 people, is located on a narrow valley on a tributary to the Alaknanda River. Before the RBF well was installed, water was piped in from an upstream surface water source ranging from 250 to as low as 50 liters per minute. That's about 72,000 liters in one day, but not without occasional interruption. The new well provides about 10 times that and is able to supply water year-round. Further north, situated on the south side of a wide valley bend of the Alaknanda River, is the larger city of Srinagar, home to about 30,000 people. Here, 5 new RBF wells have been drilled with the intention of supplementing the water supply, currently based on surface water taken directly from the Alaknanda. Here, a well is being prepared for use as the drilling mud is forced out with compressed air until the water runs clear. Here, and at many other water supply sites, automation equipment has been installed to enable both more reliable and remote operation of the pumps that lift the water out of the wells. East of Srinagar along the Alaknanda is the town of Karnaprayag, population about 8,500. Currently, the water supply is based on several springs and streams located high in the hills above the town. However, a constant challenge remains the inconsistency of the water sources, which can run dry in the summer and risk damaging the water pipelines during the monsoon. To provide a more reliable source of water, RBF wells are being installed beside the Alaknanda, about 6 kilometers upstream, and pipelines laid to carry the water to the town. About midway between Srinagar and Karnaprayag on the Mandakini River, tributary to the Alaknanda, lies the town of Agasmuni, home to about 5,500 people. The water supply here is also based on high-altitude streams, and RBF wells are being drilled to improve the consistency of the supply, and eventually to supply water to towns downstream.
Luckily in India, particularly in Uttarakhand, we don't have very much contaminated rivers. Only the contamination is coliforms, that is total coliform and fecal coliforms. And riverbank filtration is a good method, good natural process by means of which, without spending even a single penny, where the water can be filtered.
You don't have to have any of these alum, chemical requirement is not there, disposal of alum sludge is not there. So these things are really, it's a great advantage, with RBF.
By adopting this RBF, you are free from any burden, you are free from any problem, because your system is sustainable, you are getting good quality and quantity of water. And in every season of the year, there is no problem in whether it is summer, whether it is winter, whether it is rainy season, there is no problem with RBF.
It is a sustainable source, and we are getting regular and 24-hour supply from this source.
This method is very good and very cheap.
One benefit of the collaboration between the University of Applied Sciences Dresden and partners in India has been the exchange of students. Every year since 2006, several German students spent a semester doing project work with Uttarakhand Jal Sanstan at sites around Uttarakhand.
Last several years, the students from the University of Applied Sciences Dresden comes to our place and they work with us. And there is very good experience for my department and particularly myself.
And it has brought benefit to the HTW, definitely at least to the students, for instance, because for them it's a very good experience. It builds their self-confidence a lot.
Several students from the Indian Institute of Technology in Roorkee also had the opportunity to travel to Dresden to perform lab and fieldwork and learn from Professor Grishik and his team.
To travel to a different country is always an advantage. On to that, what I learned there was also a push-up to my thinking about research.
I went to Germany. I met with Mr. Sandhu and Dr. Grishik here also because they were here for some days ago, and it was a really very nice experience to work with the group. I worked in Germany with them.
So far, Indo-German collaboration on riverbank filtration projects in India has been a successful process.
Professor Thomas Grishik, he is so affectionate to us and he is so humble to us that he has given such a raise and he is continuously working with us and he is giving us the proper direction.
Not only I am getting personally benefited, but my department has also got very useful knowledge from them.
My husband and I, we both visited Dresden. The way we were looked after, we're really delighted about the whole thing, this cooperation.
It's like a big family meanwhile, and so I'm looking forward to have this family a very long time, and I know that we have good friends in India.
As of March 2012, the collaboration continues in full swing, with multiple projects aimed at both expanding the use of RBF and related water treatment technologies, and also working towards expanding the use of renewable energies, which have great potential for providing cleaner power in Uttarakhand, helping to make incredible India's future even brighter.